want you to hit me as hard as you can.
We'll tear your soul apart.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Now the dream is over. It's acted away.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Josh. This is Talking Movies. My name is Josh.
I'm Chris.
I'm Clay.
And I'm Randall.
And today we're talking about Bong Joon-ho's film from 2006, The Host.
I've heard your daughter's still alive. Why didn't you contact the police or the military, a human rights organization, something?
Randy, this was your pick. Give us a little rundown.
It's a movie.
Awesome.
So it's about
It is in fact.
credits roll. I'm a big fan of monster movies, and I would say that out of all the modern monster movies, I'm not gonna say this ain't the top, but it's up in the it's in the upper room, man. This is one of the better modern monster movies because it's not just it's kind of complex. It's not just a straightforward monster movie about just a monster. It's got social commentary in there and some stuff that I found out about the movie and after the fact, after watching it. It's about I think it's an American. Is it a chemist or like a fucking, I don't know, something.
Some kind of scientist, yeah.
Yeah, some kind of scientist. They're like dumping formaldehyde into the Han River over in Korea, and it jumps a few years and it's got this like mutated like fish monster situation going on, and basically you have a lot of the fish monster comes out, starts attacking people, right? It's not as simple as this, but then it is focused on one family that has like almost essentially a food truck out on the side of this riverbank, and they're selling food and snacks to people, and one of their family members gets taken by this monster, and now they're trying to come together as a family and like separate their differences and come together as blood and find this little girl. And there's a lot of stuff that happens in the movie. I'd forgotten how complex the story gets until I'm watching it and I'm going, dang man, I forgot about this and this and this. So yeah, I have a couple of notes. I'd like to just really quickly read them off, and then if you guys want to elaborate on any of it, I'd love to hear your feedback.
Yeah,
it's not a lot. I don't have a lot. I was trying to make it not a lot. I did want to point out, I absolutely hate when movies do this. The formaldehyde in this movie was like smoking and all this stuff. And they were like having to wear masks. Dude, I know people that smoke that shit. All right, it doesn't do that. Doesn't steam. You don't have to wear a mask. Now, I wouldn't recommend smoking it. Do whatever you want, but I don't. It's a terrible idea. But I really hate when they make something as I don't know, plain and ordinary looking as formaldehyde seem like this Ninja Turtle Secret of the Use stuff. It really irks me when they do that because it's just unnecessary. We know it's terrible for you. It's formaldehyde. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't just make it some, like made up chemical because you want it to be like a mutation, right?
So it's based on a true story, sort of, and that actually happened. They did dump like 200 something bottles of formaldehyde in the Han River, and then there were reports of like some mutated fish. Now, were they connected? Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a fucking river, dude. That stuff could have never touched them fish. I don't know. Right. But I wanted to point out that this movie, inside of this movie, I saw a lot of Godzilla, A Clockwork Orange, and Jaws, like all in this movie. All three of those movies are all over this movie. And I really think that if you're not familiar with this film, that's good to hear. Hey, if you like this, this, and this, there's a lot of each of those in here, with it also being original.
Yeah.
And then, oddly enough, there's a lot of parallels to COVID in this film.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, the last thing that I want to say before we just start letting you all talk about it is that I didn't realize I watched some stuff that Josh would normally watch. I was like watching some like how like explanation videos, some extra features. I really like Bong Joon-ho, so I was like, it wasn't hard for me to watch that stuff. You know, I really enjoyed it. I didn't know that there was a lot of practical effects for the monster. I thought it was all CG, and when I found that out, I went back and rewatched parts of it, and it explains so much that weird look that it's got because some of it's real, some of it's not. Dude, there's huge sculptures that they made. Like when they barfed up the little girl. That's a real machine. Like when he grabs her and pull, that's real too. I didn't know any of that. I thought that was amazing to find out.
Makes sense because honestly, the CG is like the weakest part of the movie, obviously, and it's really just because of the budget. It's like $11 million all in. So it's the Korean movie. They just don't.
That's what Bong Joon-ho was saying. He's like, I would have done the craziest shit if you'd have given me the money.
Right. But it honestly does still have weight to it more than a lot of cheap CG does. Like it looked like it had some sort of weight to it. And a lot of problems with CG are just that it looks weightless. It looks like it's just floating. It doesn't look like it's interacting with the environment. So that makes sense.
The sound design was really good in this one, and that I think helped it because we had it turned up pretty loud. Chris and I watched it together, and we'd seen it before. We like it. I told her, I was like, hey, it's finally time to watch The Host again. She's like, I've been waiting for that one to pop up because we've been talking about it. And we turned the volume up pretty loud. And at first it was playing with English dub, and I was like, is that how we watched it the last time? She's like, I don't think so. And so we had to figure out that, oh, no, it's just a setting on the player. So we went back and put it in Korean. But I don't know why I even mentioned that other than it was really weird. But the sound, whenever it was clomping around, it was so well done that I don't know, it was a timing thing. Like when it hit the ground, you could hear very good Foley art being made there. They were really good with what the stuff sounded like. And it was on the time with the monster hitting the ground or rolling or whatever. I don't know. I just thought that I noticed that. I don't usually notice those things. So I thought it was pretty cool.
No, I think it's a very well done movie. Chris and Clay, have y'all seen this movie before? No,
nope.
Neither one. Okay.
Whoa, neither of y'all?
Nope.
I'm surprised.
There was a.
Well, I hope you liked it.
Messed with me. When I first moved to Houston, one of the hurricanes hit, right, and I had a lot of trouble getting out of the city. And I don't know why. Ever since then, occasionally I'll have nightmares of a big flood, whisking my family away, and I'm not strong enough to stop it. And, trying to think of creative ways to save my family, tying myself to a tree with a belt or whatever, just
that kind of happens in Parasite.
Yeah. It's always been something that kind of bothered me. But when the guy's trying to save his daughter and drops her in a panic, grabs another kid, I was like, oh my God, I could see that happening in my head, where you're just panicking and there's a frenzy of people everywhere, and that is a threat in and of itself. And then you have this monster chasing everything. It freaked me out pretty good, and right off the bat I was like, oh man, this movie is this the CGI might have seemed a little silly, but it had some heavy drama in it alongside the horror that really got me, man. I was really surprised.
Yeah, I just with the CGI being as bad, I guess I'll say as it is, I actually appreciate it for them showing the monster as much as they do.
Yeah,
most movies will kind of shy away from it, and it's like, oh, we can't really afford it, so we'll just show it once or twice, and then the movie will be over. But they show it broad daylight, long shots, all kinds of shots. They don't shy away from it. So I kind of rather that. Just if you're making a monster movie, show a monster. If it's done right, if the movie's good and you can't afford some extra CG or whatever, I don't know, just show a monster. We're here for a monster movie. We want to see a monster.
I agree.
I agree with that. And there's a give and take to that, because there's a reason Jaws is such a good movie too, because it does leave you in suspense, but it's sort of an overused trope at this point to just withhold it so much. But I was listening to an interview with him earlier today with Bong, and he was saying that they had a lot more effect shots, like 1,000 different effect shots that they wanted to do, and because of the budget, they had to really scale it back. So it would have been a lot more probably if he had had his way. But I think it works as is. You know?
Oh, sorry. I thought there was some real. They were able to evenly distribute the drama, the horror, and the comedy throughout this movie in a way that I thought was, I don't know, it's appealing for a broad audience because there is funny stuff. Dude throwing that thing at the monster, that's like slapstick comedy almost, right? And then the sister being like choking when it's important, and the dude, her brother, being like an alcoholic that was like, lost in the world. High drama. And then you have, of course, the monster, which is horror. And I think Korean movies specifically do that really, really well.
Yeah. Bong is really good at that. I don't think you can ever nail down one of his movies to just put it in a box, because it's not just drama. It's comedy with the drama and with the horror. Like in the scenes with Song Kang-ho, like where he's like captured and he's trying to run away from these guys and they think he's crazy and all this stuff. And then they end up drilling a hole in his head. Like, you're going from laughing to like, holy shit, this is horrific in the space of a minute, It's like it all mixed together. You can't really.
I forgot how terrifying that's where the Clockwork Orange stuff came into play to me. I was like, yo, they're like forcing these people to like sit and do these things, and he's like, I can't move my face. Can you do? Like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was just like, bro, there was these times where like I was thinking of that movie, and I was like, bro, I'm very claustrophobic, and it also reminded me a little bit of E.T. at points, because they had all this stuff where it was like
Spielberg.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that I noticed that I'm rewatching these movies, that I've got another 5 years of film watching under my belt at this point. And I'm watching it with friends of mine now, so I'm looking at different things. I would have never noticed this stuff if I didn't know you guys. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's not. But I think it's really cool when I find a movie that I really love, and I get to like, oh, here's another layer of stuff I can enjoy about it, because I'm ready for another Parasite watch soon. It's been about like a year, maybe a year and a half since I've watched it. And
he's got a new movie coming out this year.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. He's probably my favorite non-American director.
He's one of the best in the biz right now. I think.
There's some like amazing shots in here. Some really, really cool like panned, stuff in the chase, in some chase scenes, and there's some really well done stuff. I mean, he's kind of just like a different Park Chan-wook. I would prefer Park Chan-wook myself a little bit over Bong Joon-ho, but I mean, they're both like pretty much neck and neck, I think, as far as just talent.
Different sensibilities, but they're both equally creative and good storytellers. And that's what I'd forgotten a lot of this movie. I'd forgotten how it ended. Like, I was just really impressed about how it kind of keeps you guessing. You never really know exactly where it's going. In a monster movie like that, most of them are so predictable. Like I was talking about when he gets his head drilled, you're like, okay, did they just lobotomize him? For a minute, you're like, is he gone? Is that it? Yeah. And then, he's back, and just like
that was the one part I didn't like.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really know like how much did they actually do. It kind of just played for laughs, but
I thought that was a little out of place, because they don't know if they really did it. He just pops back up like normal. So like, did they do it? Like, I thought too, like, did they do it and they like fixed him and now he's just normal? Because at the end, jumping ahead a little bit, but he's kind of normal.
That's kind of what I thought. I thought that maybe it was like symbolism.
But like the doctor, the American doctor, when they were doing lobotomy, when they were explaining how there was actually no virus, and they were kind of like he was like super cross. He was super like cross-eyed and stuff, and it was just weird, and like that whole scene. So funny. Yeah, that whole scene just it kind of took me out a little bit. I think they should have like dialed the comedy silly back just a little bit.
I think this is one of So where does this fall in his like library of films? Do you know, Josh? Is this like early on in his career?
It's like third or fourth after Memories of Murder.
Yes.
Before Mother.
Yeah, Mother's the next one.
Okay.
And then Snowpiercer.
So it's like sort of right in the middle.
Snowpiercer was his. I was going to ask you that. I'm sorry.
Yes, that was after. Because this movie is what got him a lot of notoriety. It was
I remember that being like a big deal. Not when it happened, but I remember when I learned about him through this movie. This was the first one I saw of his.
It was like the most successful Korean movie for a very long time, I think.
Oh no shit! I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's like beating out Old Boy, I think, as like the most popular Korean movie in America.
Yeah, it appeals to a broad audience. You know, it's a big.
You can watch it more than one time too.
Old Boy's kind of.
Let's fire up some Old Boy.
Yeah,
I mean, you could watch this with your teenagers. You could watch this with a 10-year-old. It wouldn't be that big a deal.
Yeah.
You're not watching that stuff with the old. That's an adult dark drama.
I feel like with this movie, maybe since he didn't have the budget that he wanted, that he was kind of like just playing with the movie a little bit. At least that's the feeling that I got listening to the very limited amount of stuff from him that I listened to. It just seems like he was kind of like, well, I'll take some chances here that maybe I wouldn't take, or I'll be a little more, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like he just like did things that maybe he wouldn't normally do with a bigger budget because he was like,
experimenting.
Experimenting with things. So that's probably where like the weird comedy, because there was a little bit of strange insertions of comedy that I was like, that's a weird thing. Like Chris was saying, I don't know that I personally would change any of it. I don't know if it didn't take me out of anything, but I can understand why you were like, it is a little strange. So
he was taking some risks though, because I paused it about an hour in because I was like, man, surely this movie's about over because he's done a lot already. And I was like, oh wow, we got another hour. Yeah. Like I was really surprised that he had done so much with a short amount of time. He could have made a whole movie out of that 1 hour, right? Yeah. But instead he was really trying to push it and like tell a good complex story. So I feel like he was taking some risks with his experimentation too, which was pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's one of the rare instances where I think I get what I want out of an ending, while so does the general audience. Do you know what I'm saying, Josh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get like a bleak, realistic ending, while you still get an uplifting ending, and I'm like, damn, nailed it, dude. That is like maybe one of the best endings that I've seen, like that I can recall. Period. That's everybody kind of gets what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A little tearjerker, a little heartwarming, but it seems pretty realistic.
I just wrote a little thing for Letterboxd right before we got on, just to put a note down, and I said it's not his best work, but boy is it good. The ending wraps up with moments of action, the moments of action we want, while being heartbreaking but not hopeless. It's also it also perfectly completes all the character arcs, which is a hard needle to thread. I think that's just a lot of things in the air right there.
One of the few times I agree with everything that you said, like word for word. Like that's awesome.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that. It makes
they set up the girl with the arrows that's always hesitating and things like that. All those little things, they just come together, and it's not overdone, but it's just like when you think that something's about to happen, he's throwing the Molotov cocktail. Oh, he drops it. You just get that extra little beat. Of things.
Yeah,
you never quite know. It doesn't quite do what you think it's gonna do.
This is one of those movies that when it comes out, if we had watched it when it was brand new, we'd be like, dude, this movie is awesome. This guy's an amazing filmmaker. And it's like, if you go back in hindsight, you can see how good it's not, quote unquote, because you're like, oh no, I see where this guy was headed. He was headed here with this stuff. But when it came out, it was probably amazing to watch when it was brand new. Yeah. And it's one of those ones that it's a game changer. And it's really, I would say, like, while not his best movie, maybe his most important.
Yeah, well, for his career, probably.
Speaking about it, that's what I'm talking about
for sure. And him being able to experiment with tones and things like that, I think, is how you get to something like Parasite, because that threads the needle even more perfectly to me. Like, there's so many things being juggled in that movie, and it never feels off balance. It never tips too far into comedy or drama.
Dude, out of all the movies that we've watched together over the years, because we've been doing this for like 4.5, 5 years now, a long time. Out of all the movies, maybe not podcasting, but talking about movies and watching them together, dude, Parasite is the one movie that no matter what I'm doing, it just seems to come up in conversation when movies get talked about. And I've recently had somebody that, unfortunately, when we were talking, Parasite came up, and that person said, "Yeah, I don't really understand all the hubbub about that movie, man. I didn't think it was that good." And I was like, "Huh?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, you don't care about that one?"
I fell asleep in it, man.
That's fucking wild, dude.
I need to watch it again, but it really
gotta give it another shot, man.
I didn't love it the first time I watched it.
I remember that.
I liked it, but I'd also like
Josh's tone of voice was great.
Sorry,
but like it had kind of a weird release. Like it had come out, and like I'd watched it at home, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. And then I went back to the theater and watched it again, something like that.
See, I watched it solo.
Okay,
that's how I watched it too.
Like by myself in the theater. Nobody else was in there, dude. I left the theater and I was just mouth hanging open. I was like, "Fuck, that was perfect." I remember. I think I told Josh, "Hey, that's the first perfect movie I've seen." Like that's
because you saw it a couple of days before I did, and I was already like vibrating, like excited.
Yeah, and I was like trying to keep my mouth shut. I'm like, "Dude, go fucking watch this movie, please, so we can talk about it." And it's one of the few movies that when I walked out of the theater that I was just shook, dude. I was like, "Man, well, bar's been raised for me. It's subjective. So there are people that don't like it, and I can't say that they're wrong because it's a personal thought. But like, from when I walked out of the theater, I was like, holy shit! Like I was wrestling with what kind of movie was that? Was that who was actually wrong or right? And I mean, it really messed with me for a while. And then I rewatched it, and I was like, oh my god, it's a fucking comedy. And I watched it again. Oh, it's a horror movie. I watched it again. Oh, it's just a drama. Like it's such an insane movie, dude. Like.
Yeah, but I think the first time I watched it, not being in a theater was like one knock because I wasn't as invested in it as I could have been.
Right.
But still, like all that stuff was just kind of like, I don't know, like it went over my head the first time, whereas I was like, I don't know what all this is trying to be. Like it's doing so much, and again, not being 100% like invested into it. It just like I liked it, but I don't see what the hype is about. And then.
I feel like that a lot of times.
But the hype just kept going crazy.
A lot of people, I think, went into Clay's camp because the one best picture. Anytime anything gets that big, people are gonna lean the other direction. They're gonna be like, "Why is this the best movie ever?" I
mean, I do that all the time, so I can't argue about that.
Yeah, I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, since and.
Yeah,
I mean it's holds up.
Yeah, I've probably watched it no less than 6 times since I've owned it. I've watched it a lot. But it's not when I first got it. I watched it like 3 times. I watched it with Carissa. I think we watched it a second time, and I watched it solo. I've watched it a lot, just like here at the house by myself. But like, I remember when I was watching it the first time I was watching it. I think might have been the second time I watched it. I was thinking about how insane it was. No, it was the first time I watched it because I couldn't have this thought in a second viewing. I was thinking about how crazy the family was. I was like, damn, this is amazing. These people are fucking super clever, man, getting their comeuppance on the world and da-da-da-da. And then all of a sudden, just things start falling apart. And I was like, oh, it's not one of those stories. Oh, geez Louise, what's fixing to happen? And at the very end, you're like, no way. And then that girl just gets got. You're like, what? And then the fucking end of that movie.
Well, when the stuff with the under the basement,
the
stuff with the basement, there's like, wait, what is this movie?
One of the biggest shocks I've ever had in a movie was that I was like, huh? Like when the first time you see that guy tied up, I was like, what is going on right now? Was he tied up or what? Yeah, I can't remember.
There's a guy living down there.
Yeah,
he had been living down there. So have you not finished this movie, Clay?
Oh yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I'll just make sure we're not spoiling.
Yeah, no, we're good. Thank you.
Yeah, he was living down there, and he was like, coming up to get food and stuff.
That's what it was. He was just living down there.
And his wife was the housekeeper. Remember, because it all happened when they fire the housekeeper.
Yeah,
and he's on his own all of a sudden.
That's what it was. He was just down there waiting. That's what I couldn't remember. Why. I was like, was he tied up? And he wasn't tied up. He was down there. He was tied up later when they went down there and tied him up. But like, yeah, I mean, there's just so many things about that movie that were so perfectly written. I mean, the very end of it was so fucked, dude. Like, I remember just being like, "Oh wow," like that. Yeah, man, I love that movie. I would love to watch it again with you, Clay. I said Clay. I don't call you Clay very often.
I wouldn't mind watching it, man. I'll watch it with you. And I want to, just like, gosh, there's a show called Dark. It's a German show. And my buddy and I keep talking about it. I watched it all, but it's really detailed, kind of like Host and kind of like Parasite, where there are so many things that go on that you're bound to miss something, because you're kind of like, I get real mystified when I see a movie the first time. I'm kind of feeling things. I'm kind of trying to figure things out. I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking back. I'm trying to remember people's names. And so I'm like, oh shit. Like,
especially if it's complex and it's in a foreign language, it's like real easy to miss a line or something, and then you can just feel lost.
And then sometimes the names throw me. I mean, you got, I'm just like, what was that guy's name again? Who are we talking about? And so
dude, that really hurts my ass, because I can't remember things anyways. I'm like, I was talking to somebody at Alamo not too long ago about the shop. They're coming buy some records. And I was like, oh yeah, I got another spot if you want to buy some movies or something. I got physical media in another room too. And they were like, I understand buying records, but why would you buy a movie? And I was like, have you never watched a movie more than once? And the guy goes, maybe twice in my life. And I was like, wait, you don't watch anything more than once? And he was like, nah, I don't really see the point. And I was like, so you telling me that on some of the greatest movies ever made, you were able to sit down and watch them once and get. I mean, I've seen movies I hate more than once. Like, I've watched Clockwork Orange like 4 times. I don't like it. I didn't like it the first time I watched it, but I thought, okay, maybe I could get something out of it, or maybe my friends were watching. There's reasons to watch a movie a second and third time, but most importantly, so that you can get stuff you missed, or like, add on to your experience, or if it's one of those ones where the second watch is a different watch because there was something revealed at the end and you're like, oh crap. And so the second watch is just completely different. The one with the magicians, the Christopher Nolan movie, Prestige, dude. Second watch is a completely different film. Completely different. I just can't imagine watching that one time, bro. What are you talking about?
Amazing movie. Why would you only want to watch it one time? It's one of
the
best
movies
ever. I mean, shit.
I mean, Bad Milo. It's like a 4-watch movie a minimum, dude.
Like, how did he get out of his ass? Like, he still can't figure it out.
How did he get back in there? But yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we brought up Bad Milo. I thought it was
that one into this.
We turned into the Parasite pod, and then it turned into.
So, okay, did you guys enjoy the film, Chris, Hugh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I was actually pretty surprised. I was honestly like, I was a little pressed for time. I got off work. I was a little tired, and I was like, "Fuck, here we go with this creature bullshit." Like, it's good. And honestly, man, and so I started watching, and I was like, okay, okay. And then the political commentary happened with the quarantine, and the little daughter getting hauled away, like I said, in the into the water, and I was like, ooh, like this is getting a little spooky for me. Though it had the CGI, it still hit me good, man.
Oh yeah,
that's almost like exactly how I felt when dogs don't wear pants, and then I'm watching it, and I'm like, all right, okay, I don't hate it. I'm like, all right, I like the guy. All right, he's kind of cool. And I'm like, all right, whatever. It was just like adding on things that are like reasons to keep watching it. I've had that with movies I've picked and I haven't watched it. I'm like, oh, let's watch this. And then I'm like, man, why did I pick this shit? And then I'm gonna go sit down and watch it. I'm like, okay, well, at least it was fun. Existence, man, great film. I love it. Man, that's a fucking amazing movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I I was giving
Sorry,
Josh
man.
and Chris a hard time because of the
our
poor
ratings.
ratings.
Yeah.
I gotta watch
Hey,
it. I gotta watch it again. I've
Yeah,
only
me
seen
too.
it
Wait,
once.
what's the rating? Is it bad or good?
I think I had it at 2.5, and you had it
2.5.
at 3, Josh.
I had it like 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought
I
you said they were.
I don't think it's one of Cronenberg's best, but
No, but
there's
I had-
a lot of cool stuff in it.
yeah, I had so many problems. Like I think I
Wait, what movie are we talking about?
Existence.
Existence.
You started the
I thought-
Existence, and now we're talking
Yeah,
about Existence.
I thought we were talking about Dogs Don't Wear Pants still for a second, and I was like,
Oh.
"What?" You said Cronenberg, and I was like, "What?"
No, it's like
The Existence, dude, 5 stars from me, sir.
yeah. There's so much like dumb and silly stuff.
Oh,
But there's so
love it.
much awesome stuff. So like I think when I reviewed, I'm just splitting this down the middle. I don't know what to think about this thing.
It was funny to hear in the movie theater because, like, every time the little butthole port and he starts, lubing it up and stuff, all the people in the theater are like, I mean, they were snickering and shit. I was like, oh man, this is fun. Like, it was fun.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Cronenberg
did,
loves his orifices.
For real. Did anybody watch anything else interesting this week?
Man, I didn't watch much at all, to be honest.
Okay.
Let me see. I watched a couple of things.
Yeah, chat was a little quiet this week with movie talk.
Yeah,
I've been
no.
watching Vinland Saga, man.
What is that?
Jamie and my kid recommended it. It's like a kind of a Ragnar Lothbrok kind of Viking thing.
Oh, okay,
anime
cool.
On Netflix. Man, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay.
I did watch Out of Darkness. It's a new movie. It's like 45,000 BC or whatever, cavemen.
Is that one any good? Cool. I heard it was dog shit from a lot of people at Alamo, but
I liked it. I thought it's
Did
very
you?
atmospheric. There's no language you can track, so it's like translating this fake language, right?
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Subtitles, which some people didn't enjoy, but I think it plays tricks on your mind quite a bit, and you have to really be immersed in the movie. So if you're kind of like distracted, I don't think it'd have the same effect.
Okay.
But have you ever been hunting? Like, I think people who've ever been hunting, like there's like an element to stealth, and you have to be quiet and you have to control your breathing. And the movie does a lot of that, where it's like totally quiet and you can just hear somebody's breathing and their footsteps and shit. I liked it, but I think like it could be boring to people. Like it's not like,
Sounds like it's sort of like trying to immerse you in sort of an experience. Yeah.
And there's no like backstory or any reference point. You're just with these people from whatever year and they're getting hunted.
And then a predator shows up, right?
Yeah, it's basically that. So that was my fun.
Okay.
Yeah, that one looked interesting, but yeah, it wasn't getting good reviews, so I wasn't sure. But that doesn't always mean anything.
Yeah.
I can see why. I mean, it was low budget. It wasn't, complex by any means. There were some probably could have been misconstrued messages like towards the end of the movie about including people that we exclude and things like that. So some people might have taken it the wrong way. It seems like everything has to have some kind of fucking message of equality or some shit. It's just
equality.
I mean, yeah, I know. But I think if you can, see it for what it's worth, I think it's a good movie. Even, the message didn't bother me at all. So whatever,
Okay. All right.
I didn't watch a lot of movies. I watched a couple of them. I watched a documentary on the Descendants, because the next show I'm doing is we're covering that band, and I tell you, man, a documentary can completely change your opinion on an artist. It is pretty crazy.
Context.
I know, right? It's wild, man. It's a band I haven't been interested in for literally my whole life, and suddenly it was like, oh wow, I want to introduce these guys to my kids now, like not like in person, but their music and their lyrics and stuff. And we watched. I
was listening to your last podcast when y'all brought that up.
Oh, dude, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I just connecting the dots.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. You might like the talk we're fixing to have, because he's going to lead this one, man. I'm the footnotes guy on this one, but Chris and I she watched it more than I did. I wasn't feeling well, so I fell asleep kind of early in the movie, but I woke back up like midway through it. But we watched The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I don't understand what the hate's about. Like, I knew what it was before I sat down, so I wasn't like expecting some kind of award-winning movie. But I mean, I thought it was fine. Like, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Again, it wasn't like a 5-star movie, but I was hearing either people really liked it or they really hated it, and I was like, I don't understand either of those opinions because I didn't love it, and I certainly didn't hate it. It was fine. It was okay. I wouldn't mind watching it again. Did you hate it, Hugh? You didn't like it?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I wouldn't necessarily say it was the worst, but it felt like I was kind of excited for it. Like Master and Commander and like Sea Voyage. Like I love like a really tough guy kind of movie. And the movie had some of that in it, but I don't know, man. It just like the vampire looked kind of corny to me.
Oh, you didn't like the vampire? Okay, that'll make it not like a movie. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then like the logic, of course, I always grapple with the logic of like, should we open the casket or not? Oh, let's open the rest of them. Like, I don't know, man. Shit like that bothers me. So,
it's just a dumbass movie. So I
think it. Yeah, I think it was just like I was looking to get too much out of it, but I can see how.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you just go see a movie and it's like a Netflix kind of no brainer, you just see some vampires flying around.
That's exactly how I felt it should be watched. Is like just a piece of entertainment.
Yeah.
Because like if you're coming at it from your angle, I can totally see how it's just a swing and a miss. But I always kind of wanted to throw it on, never had a reason to watch it. And then all of a sudden Chris was like, hey, you want to watch this? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's throw that on. And I really enjoyed the first like 30, 40 minutes. And then like I said, I fell asleep for a little bit and I woke up. I just wasn't feeling well at all. I had a really bad stomach ache. And I woke back up and finished it and was like, hey, did this, and this happen? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, that's what I thought. She's like, hey, how'd you know that you were sleeping? And I was like, watch a lot of these movies. And I was like, cool. I don't need to rewatch it right now. Then I can watch it later. And then we watched one other thing, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, nothing of consequence, I guess. But I did enjoy The Host again. That was a good watch. And I like documentaries, especially ones about musicians. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I watched two things. I watched I'm rewatching Scorsese, so I watched Mean Streets, which I hadn't seen in a very long time. That was his first movie with Robert De Niro. It's like his first like kind of personal movie. It's about the streets of New York and gangsters and stuff. But I don't know. It's a good movie for its time and what he was able to do with creating a small little indie on his own. I don't really love it.
That's
I know
Keitel, right?
Yeah, it is Harvey Keitel. He's the main character. I mean, it's good. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. It is very sort of meandering and stuff in the middle.
I feel like I remember not liking that one, and then you being like, yeah, kind of like
I'm the Scorsese devotee too, but I like that's one that is like got its moments. Like the beginning part and the end part are really good, but the middle is sort of I can take it or leave it.
Interesting.
Yeah, never seen it.
So mean, huh?
I see all the seeds of where he's going. I like it for that, but it's not the best movie to me. And a lot of Scorsese or film people are like, oh, it's Mean Streets is so great. It's not one that really hits me. Only other thing I watched was My Bloody Valentine. I got that Blu-ray from you, Randy. I'd never seen it. It's pretty boring, to be honest. All the kills are cool, and otherwise it's a really generic slasher. It took me I watched half of it and I was bored, so I turned it off. And then I started it again, couldn't get into it, and then the third time I started back from the beginning and watched the whole thing, and I was like, yeah, it's fine.
I think I've come to the conclusion that I kind of like boring like 80s horror stuff just because the fact that it's like boring and shitty. I don't really understand why I like it, but I think that's like a sub genre that I'm like, no, is it really fucking terrible? It's pretty boring. I'd like to check it out, and then I watch it and I'm like, yeah, 5 stars.
I can understand it in like a just like sort of a comfort sort of way. Like you don't have to worry about paying attention too closely.
I think that might be what it is.
Honestly,
it suits my ADHD really well. I can do other shit while it's on.
And you're like, oh, oh, he just put a pickaxe through that guy's head and his eyeball popped out. That's cool. You know,
I was going to say that about Demeter. Like, you can play on your phone and kind of look up and be like, oh, shit, people are dying. And they can get right back down.
Honestly, those movies have their place, too. Sometimes I want a brainless movie to just throw on and sort of just goof off. Or, like, That's
funny.
Yeah. You know, do something else while it's on. But,
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Before I go, I got to tell y'all something that happened this weekend. So I was not at the shop this weekend. I was filming. Well, on Friday night and Saturday morning, I was in Austin. I was at the Generation Exit show, record release show with Charlie. And then Sunday, I filmed the music video for Poppers. And so I was there all day. I was there from like 11:30 in the morning till like 5 in the evening. So I was out there, you know, because they're also my buddies, so we were dicking around for a little bit of it. But for the most part, we were filming and talking and getting takes from different angles because we had to film. I filmed like, I don't know, 15 different takes of that one song from different angles and stuff. And so hopefully it comes out good. But the point is that I got a phone call at like 3 o'clock, maybe 2:30 from Carissa. She was at the store for me. I said, hey, if you can go up there and work, I'd really appreciate it. Whatever money we can make, we need it. And she's like, okay, yeah, I can do that. So she's up there working. And this guy comes in and he picks out like 15 records. And she's like, hey, none of these are priced. And I was like, well, I am 100% certain that I circled them. I was like, these were priced. So he must have taken the price tags off, whatever. So I repriced them. And then I'm like, here, tell him that this, and this. And I priced them as good as I think that they should be priced. And then I said, if he takes all of it, knock $20 off of it for him. And she's like, okay, cool. And then she's like, hey, what about these four? It was like 12-inch singles. And she's like, would you take $20 for these? And I was like, yeah. And I meant like with the purchase of everything else. And so she's like a few minutes go by and I'm filming and I'm busy. So I'm not really paying attention to that. And then she goes, okay, I think he's just going to buy the singles and then come back next week. And I was like, wait, that wasn't the deal. Like the deal wasn't that you could buy the singles for that price. So I was like, whatever. Is he already gone? Fuck him. Let him take them. It's not worth me arguing about right now. And so she's like, actually, he's in the building. You want to talk to him? I can go get him. I was like, yeah. And so I get him on the phone and I'm like, hey man, what's up? And he's like, hey. And I was like, what was the problem with the price of the records? Was there an issue with the price? Because I gave you a pretty good deal. And he goes, oh, well, you know, I really wanted to haggle with you. He said that to me. And I was like, what do you mean haggle with me? And he goes, you know, I've seen some of these records online for $25. And I was like, okay, well, I told you 30 for a lot of them. So 25 plus tax plus shipping, that's usually about 35. What record did you want for $25? You haven't even asked. You just said no. And he's like, and I was like, so he goes, I'd pay like 15 for this one. And I was like, well, I said I'd take 10 for it. And he goes, oh, and I'm like, did you even look at the prices? And he's like, well, I just thought, you know, like I wanted to like talk with you a little bit. And then he goes, you know, I was thinking like in this setting that, you know, I could get them cheaper. And he just said it just like straight up like that. And I was like, interesting. I was like, what setting is that? And he goes, you know, you're in like a thrift store. And I was like, oh, you must be in the wrong store. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't own a thrift store. And he goes, well, it's like, you know, it's like in an antique mall. And I was like, okay, it's got a door on it. And he's like, yeah. I was like, it's my store. I'm an authorized retail seller of these albums. I buy them from a wholesale distributor. I was like, what is it? What are you saying? He's like, well, I thought, you know, that, you know, I could come in here and it was like a flea market. I could come in here and, you know, I just don't think I should have to pay full price if I'm in this setting.
It's like Goodwill. He just got badass Goodwill records all clean and nice and sleeves.
I would pay money. I would pay good money for y'all to have that conversation on a recording you could hear. I fucking lost it, dude. And I was like, what's your deal, dude? And I'm like talking on the phone to this guy in front of this band. And I was like, hold on, guys, 1 second, please. And they're like, I could hear them. They're like, oh my God, I think that's a customer at a store. And I was like, what's your deal, man? I was like, that's really insulting. And he's like, what? And I was like, did you come into my store with my wife there, get me on the phone and tell me that my prices were too high because of the setting? I was like, that's fucking insane. I said, I pay sales taxes on stuff. I buy things from my store at the same price that Walmart buys for theirs, maybe higher. I was like, and you want to come in here and tell me that you want to pay less because I don't have a standalone store. And I was like, how do you not see how that's insulting? And he's like, well, I just thought it was cool. You have a lot of rare punk records. And I was like, think about what you're saying to me right now. You found a place that has a bunch of rare punk records, but you want to come in here and shop like I'm a fucking
like you said, Goodwill,
like a drop off center at a fucking neighborhood thrift store.
Not a garage sale, bro.
Yeah. I was so fucking pissed off, dude, that I was this close to like leaving the shoot and going to the shop.
Yeah.
And, I finally told Carissa, I was like, hey, it was a giant stack of records, man. It was a couple $100. And I was like, I don't need his money that bad, and I don't want his money. Tell him to fuck off. And she's like, well, he's like, she's like, I think you upset him. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Is he bothering you? And she's like, no. And I was like, how about I'll stay on the phone until he leaves or whatever. And she's like, no, he's leaving. I'm thinking to do all that. And I was like, do I need to come down there right now? She's like, Jesus, please don't. And I'm like, dude, I'm not putting up with this shit. And then she's like, well, he came back by and said he'd come back next weekend. He wants to talk to you in person. And I was like, good. I'm going to increase the price by 25% on all of them, and he can fucking buy them or not. I don't care. I couldn't, dude. I've never been insulted like that. Like I've never felt that feeling. I guess that's what that feels like. I was caught completely off guard, and I was like, I was insulted. Dude, it was wild, bro. It was so
for
crazy.
as much work as you put into that thing in the last 3 weeks, man. That's
man.
I feel like I want to go out there with you.
Just a douchebag.
Yeah.
He's one of those cheap ass bargain hunting fucking dudes that complain about. He's the same kind of guy that'd be like, man, I fucking hate resellers and flippers because I don't want to get up at 9 to go hit these stores up, but I want the product. Well, fuck off. Like, dude, like I hope you don't ever get the shit that you want. You're an asshole. It's the weirdest thing. I've never felt that feeling in my life. I don't remember ever feeling the way that I felt when he said that to me. I mean, I was completely shocked. I was like, the fuck is your problem? Like, you know, I was like, man, I wish I was in front of this guy right now. I might have physically pushed him out the door.
At least you know you got about a pile of rare punk records that a collector might want, and though he doesn't want to pay for them, they're there.
Well, like the problem is that there were records there that I'm certain are like $38 to $45, and I was telling him $30, and he was still complaining, and I'm like, bro, where are you shopping? He's like, because he kept pulling that bullshit card. Like, you guys would probably be familiar with this one. Well, I've been collecting a long time, and I don't pay more than whatever. Oh, yeah. It's like some asshole going to a comic book shop and being like, well, I don't pay more than cover price for a book. I don't care if it's hot and out of print and nobody's got one. I want it for cover price. It's like, good luck, fucking asshole.
Yeah. People like that just don't want to pay what it's worth.
Yeah.
What it says. Like, it doesn't really matter. They just, they want a deal. They're not going to buy it if it's not a deal.
Dude, Bill told me, you're right. Well, it's such a weird thing to people that have this, like, if you collect stuff, you shouldn't be frugal because those things don't really go together. Like, either you have the money to collect stuff or you don't.
We all collect weird, rare things. And I mean, there's times when I just look at something for a year and I'm like, I got to do it. I got $100. This thing, I've watched 2 of them fly out of my hands.
Right.
This is that rare Hisa Yusa Sato or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't care what it costs. I'm buying it. But if the spirit of collecting to you is, I need to buy something so that I can sell it for a profit. Like, maybe you're not the guy. Maybe you're not.
Well, he went over to Bill's shop. I didn't know he went over there until I talked to Bill later. He went over to Bill's place and like, dude, Bill's like super chill. Like, he was like, hey, what's up? And the guy comes in. He's like, hey man, how much do you want for this fucking stereo? And Bill said that he had a $300 price tag on it. And he said, well, I'll take $200 because he said he made a lot of money that day. He was just in a good mood. And he's like, I'll take $200 for it. And that the guy didn't even look at the price tag. He just said, how much do you want for it? And Bill said, he said there was $300 on the back of it. He just said $200 to the guy. And the guy was like, oh, I was hoping I could get it for like $50. And Bill was like, what? And the guy was like, yeah. And he was like, well, no, this is vintage and it's not refurbished. It's all original and like it's in perfect working condition. And the guy's like, yeah. But like, I see these at Goodwill sometimes and I see them online for like, and then he told Bill to
why
his
don't
face,
you have one?
Bro, thank you. And he told Bill to his face, I don't think you know what you're talking about with this stuff. You're not really qualified to run this place.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Dude, Bill goes,
Wow.
yes. He goes in all caps, I sold him nothing. I told him to leave. And I was like, holy shit. I've never seen that dude mad in my life, bro. He's so like, he's just like, hey, like he's very even keeled, bro. But
he was probably very even keeled, and when he said, "Get out of my shop,"
he probably was.
I think you can leave.
Yeah,
The
just
dude
get
does
out of
not
here, man.
abide.
I wish I had. I wish I. That's funny. I wish I had like the. I was so angry and like put off by this guy, but if I had thought about it, the last time I was at Julie's place and some dude pulled this shit, she literally right into his face goes, "Well, I mean, the price tag says I don't know what the actual dollar amount was, but she goes, the price says tags are like $200. I told you I'd do 120. I'm sorry you can't afford it." And the guy just goes, "Excuse me?" And she goes, "Well, it's a good price. Just because it's something you can't afford doesn't mean that the price is too high."
Yeah,
and
there
then
you go. That's
the guy was like,
There you go.
he turned all red, and she was like, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but clearly you shouldn't be shopping for these kind of things.
Yeah.
That's why those
Dude,
are my people, because
you know what I'm saying?
I love people that are straight shooters.
And like, well, because she's always so fucking nice, dude. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
like
yeah.
he's really, the people like that are really fortunate that she has told me in the past, hey, like, don't say nothing to anybody. Because I've said something to somebody, and she's like, you know, it's okay. I'm not, because I get like bothered on her behalf. I'm like, hold on, this is my fucking friend, dude.
You get
Don't talk to her like that.
Sure.
But
yeah, I really do.
What makes you want to spend money in her store is because she'll talk to you,
Exactly.
Right?
and show you things, and you'll be like, "This is a sweet lady. Like, I'm just gonna buy something. Like, I don't care."
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Dude,
Totally.
she has supported my channel, and she watches every episode of this, dude. So what's
she
up,
watches
Julie?
these too. Yeah, what's up, Julie?
Yeah, so like Julie's family, because like even if like just whatever, man, like she doesn't need a reason to be like friendly with you. Like if you go into the store, you know, she tells dudes to their face like, "Hey, y'all need to chill." But she's also like probably the nicest person in the whole complex. She's far nicer than I am. I don't put up with that shit. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
You know, she's you know, she's like, you don't gotta say nothing to nobody. I'm not afraid of these people. Like I think that's great. And I think, you know, I've gotten to know her over the past couple of years. Time flies by. We've known each other for a while now. And you know, you don't need to dude, don't talk to Bill like that. What are you doing? Like, it's just so weird. It's so weird to go in a place like that where they offer you a great deal and then you want to just like spit in their face. Like, fuck you, man. That's not
like
enough of a discount.
It wouldn't have mattered what he offered him. He still would have done that.
Right.
You know? It's just that person.
Well, when the guy told me he wanted to pay more than I asked for the record, I didn't know what the fuck was going on, bro.
You just say yes. Well, let's close it up. Chris, it's your pick. What are we watching next week?
So this was originally gonna be my pick either way, but it does fall into the monster category. So I guess I'll keep the theme rolling with Mimic.
Oh,
that's a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah, never seen it before. I don't even think I knew it was Del Toro for the longest time.
Yeah, he's
just
it.
Yeah.
Dude, have you never seen this movie?
I haven't. It's the only Del Toro movie I haven't seen. Actually,
I love Del Toro too. I even like Crimson Peak and shit. Like, yeah.
Wait, who hasn't seen this movie?
I haven't.
I haven't.
Whoa!
You're the only one.
Yeah,
I know it's like
that guy.
It's like giant bugs, right?
Oh, dude, y'all are gonna fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it would fall in like classic '90s horror for Randy. And
dude,
I knew Josh would be in it just for Del Toro.
Well, and there's a lot of background to this movie, so I'll have something to talk about.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I just brought a copy to the shop. I'll have to go back and grab it and bring it home.
Cool. It was on like Pluto or something to stream.
Okay. I might buy the Blu-ray actually,
I was
because it's
thinking of
the
that.
only one I don't have. So
I might buy some. Start to build a Del Toro.
That was a
collection.
laborious, like, how do you say that word? Is it laborious? Laborious? How do you say that?
I think you can use it however you
Laborious.
want to. You can be kind
Laborious.
of bougie with it and get laborious, or you can just do like laborious, like
Laborious. Okay, I just didn't want to sound completely, ridiculous saying it, but I didn't know the correct pronunciation.
Clay's new name is Webster.
Hell yeah, dude, that's a solid pick, Chris. I didn't know where you were headed with the monster thing, but yeah, dude, Mimic's cool.
I think it's generally considered a pretty bad movie, but I'm totally
Sure. I mean,
Down
you
to
didn't
watch it,
realize
so.
that by how my reaction went. I was all
Yeah,
excited.
he's way too excited. Just so everybody knows, he's.
We're all about to hate it, and Rainey's gonna love it.
Yeah.
Dude, I can tell you fact for fucking sure I like this movie. So, all right, everybody, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. It's good seeing you fellas.
Yeah. Those are
Good
cool.
Hey,
seeing
is
you,
anybody
Randy.
coming to the theater Friday?
Not this Friday,
Actually,
No.
I will be there. There's the new Ethan Cohen movie.
I work Friday night, so I was just curious if I'd see any of you guys.
Yeah,
It's been a
should be
while
there.
since we've hung out. I
Yeah.
guess the next hangout might be on my birthday weekend, so we can watch 299 together.
Yeah,
Probably so. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
At
Sounds
the
Sweet. Yeah, it's coming up pretty
And-
quick, dude. It's like 2.5 weeks from now.
And see.
Oh yeah, CMI on the 8th. Yeah,
we're going to that.
you know
I can't
I'll be
make up
there,
my
bro.
mind if I want to go to Austin or if I just want to chill in Houston or get.
Well, I'm going to
adventurous.
probably go to both. So, I mean, if you end up wanting to go to Austin, I'm 100% going. I'll ask Chris Klink if we can both crash at his place. I'm sure he'll say yeah. Unless you just want to just drive home that night. I'm not doing all that.
I need to throw some weights around before I get out there and get my ass kicked.
I'm not,
Put on
Well,
the
on that note,
boots.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
seal it up right now. We'll talk off.
later, everybody.
Bye.
I'll talk to you guys later.